Anyone who's been to Girdwood in the last few months has seen the multitudes of bright red Holtan Hills signs along Alyeska Highway and throughout the neighborhoods. The ubiquity of the signs represents a level of consensus that may be unprecedented for our community, uniting neighbors from across the political spectrum as we've never seen before. Whether measured by letters to the Girdwood Board of Supervisors, known as GBOS, public testimony, votes at community meetings, or a recent online poll, community opposition to the Holtan Hills development is running at over 90%. Unfortunately, the project is barreling towards approval by the Anchorage Assembly regardless. The Holtan Hill land parcels, located behind the Girdwood School, are the largest and best tracts remaining for residential development in town, so their importance to the community can hardly be overstated. The tracts belonged to Girdwood until the town was absorbed into Anchorage in 1975, and they've been held since then by the Heritage Land Bank, known as HLB, a municipal land management agency. What is new about the Holtan Hills land disposal is the magnitude of the project, the sudden involvement of HLB as a development partner, and the secrecy with which the project has progressed.
Well, it's us against them now.
Wait, what? Getting information about the Holtan Hills project has been a struggle from the beginning. The Girdwood community has waded through heavily redacted documents, asked in vain for the original RFP results, submitted Freedom of Information Act requests months ago that remain unanswered, asked for legal help only to have the questions routed back to HLB, and spent hours attending meetings only to be told our viewpoints were irrelevant.
The only thing the HLB Advisory Council needs to decide is whether this land disposal is good for the Muni and for HLB.
Wait, what about Girdwood?
Did you hear me say anything about Girdwood? No, you did not.
Though the original RFP specifically said that proposals would be evaluated based on the public benefit they would provide, it's now clear that Girdwood was not considered part of that public. In fact, the criteria that the HLB used to award the RFP doesn't even include the word Girdwood, never mind community concerns and needs, specifically the Girdwood community's workforce housing crisis. Girdwood residents have spent thousands of hours writing testimony and sitting in meetings, often having to drive to Anchorage in the middle of a workday, all to no avail.
Don't worry, you can talk all you want. It just won't make any difference.
In the face of broad community disapproval of the project, as well as the work of Girdwood's Holtan Hills Housing Action Committee, the HLB and CY Investments have consistently responded that the development agreement is unchangeable, so Girdwood's viewpoints are effectively irrelevant. The Holtan Hills project will add 30% to developed land and about 20% to housing units in Girdwood. The end result is a project that will devastate acres of forest, exacerbate current strains on our local economy and infrastructure, and lead to the further exodus of community members who can no longer afford to live here, all to benefit one developer and a city department that seems to view Girdwood more as a strip mine than a town. Girdwood will continue to ask why a small Muni agency made up of a handful of political appointees and Muni employees should be allowed to make transformative decisions like this without involving the community from the beginning. The Holtan Hills project needs to be scrapped and started over so development can happen correctly. No other neighborhood in Anchorage and no other town in Alaska would want half a dozen bureaucrats deciding for them what is best for their community. So we're asking for your help, getting the word out, and contacting the Anchorage Assembly. The future of our community depends on it.